Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. I don't have a costume, but happy Halloween review family. Anyone that's seen this past this point is going to be very confused. Last year I did a review of RM's album Mono, and I did it in this mask. This is just going to be the yearly Jay Morris, the review guy Halloween costume. Oh, I'm getting woozy already because I cannot breathe in this thing. And what's more Halloween than an electronic album that's fairly bubbly? In this one I'm going to be covering the new Anamanaguchi record entitled USA. Anamanaguchi is a New York band formed in 2004. They utilize an electronic style that they employ more as an umbrella term for a wider assortment, a kind of rainbow of eclectic styles. Their style is an absolute Skittles-type rainbow flurry of Nintendocore and Chiptune and Bitpop, rock, pop, house, dance, even some Vocaloid thrown in there for good measure. I thought their last studio-length album, Endless Fantasy, released back in 2013, was a pretty good show of their prowess when it came to the style that they performed. However, I thought it dragged a little bit, especially in some of those deep cuts. It was a super long album that I don't think necessarily needed to be that long. Their influences and what they were trying to do wore off very quickly. However, my intrigue for the new Anamanaguchi record really did peak. It hit a fever pitch. It went through the roof with the single Lorem Ipsum. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. If I end up following through and doing a favorite singles or just favorite songs of 2019, Lorem Ipsum is probably going to crack the top 10 or at least be fairly high on that list because it is one of my favorite singles of the year. Period. It is intricately pretty to listen to. It is vibrant. It is bursting with energy and passion and fun. It is harmonious in every sense of the word. And I don't want to sit here and rag on how good of a track Lorem Ipsum is, but I also want to point out that you get these repeating melodies, and just when you think it is so emotional and it's fine and dandy and great, it just bursts even more and builds up and swells even further with that melody. It just explodes with color, and that's what this album is. It is supremely, through and through, colorful and a great arrangement of sounds. There are pretty much only two tracks on this entire record that I'm not that big of a fan of. The first being the very first track, the self-titled track, USA, which I just think isn't bad. It's just the arrangement is basically what they do on the rest of the record, just a little bit lesser. I think it's one of the worst tracks on the album. BSX is probably the only track on the album I genuinely have an issue with. It features Hatsune Miku, and I really like her inclusion because I am a fan of Vocaloid, which it's a weird genre. Look it up. In her portions on the track, she does get very drowned out. Other than that, it's a good record. While I wasn't that, enamored with Endless Fantasy, you know, USA is just a record that has me head over heels. I'm in love with this record. It really captivated me. For some reason, saying that sentence in this mask, just so you guys know, I hope I'm looking at the camera because I literally cannot see a thing out of this thing. It's so worn down in the back, it doesn't even have a strap. From electronic and rock rager hybrids like the CRT Woods with its endless progressions and its fluctuating synths, to Speak to You, Memory Messengers, which reminds me so much of Dylan Bailey's solo project I Am Sleepless, a lot. They bring on Caroline Lufkin on the track Sunset by Plane, the indietronica artist. Usually I love Anamanaguchi's instrumental-only tracks because those are some of my favorite tracks that they come out with, period. But her inclusion on this track really is fantastic, what she gave to it. Her voice soars over a blend of electronic and rock instrumentation, which once again explodes with so much passion through all of the different progressions. And I love that this record does that. It is constantly shifting, constantly changing. One track usually doesn't stay the same throughout the entire runtime. I am also very impressed by how Anamanaguchi manages to mix their synths in a way to have so much emotion, so much resonance, so much girth, but remain so sweet and smooth to listen to. Every time I listen to this record, I'm hearing things that I didn't hear before, and when it comes to these synths, something that seems so simple that just sounds like another instrument so meticulously put where they are in these layerings or just simplicity. They really know what they're doing, even though they've basically only released a handful of projects. But hey, quality over quantity, am I right? Definitely one of my most standout electronic albums of the year. I do suggest this if you want something a little bit off the beaten path but still accessible. You might be exposed to some genres that you don't usually hear, such as chiptune and Bitpop, Nintendocore, Vocaloid, just a lot of different influences going into one sound. It's one of the more unique electronic projects you're going to hear this year, and it's right up there with that Apparat record that I loved earlier this year, which I still love that record to death. But anyways, I'm going to be giving this album an 8 out of 10. And that is a wrap. What were your thoughts of this new Anamanaguchi record, USA? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I would love to discuss the record with you. If you liked it or didn't like it, I'd love to hear it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, share it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy. Happy Halloween. And I'm signing off saying farewell.